Okay. Over here. Over here. Right down here. Everybody. What are you having a good time? Are you having a good time? Are you good? Did you have a lot of fun last night? All right. Some of you, it's like a soccer match. Some of you guys are going to stand for this entire presentation here. Go ahead, Jude. You can have a seat. You're welcome. Wow. I tell you, the lights up here, it's incredible. Incredible. Okay. I've got about 25 minutes to share with you some of the things, I guess, the industry over the years, the Direct Sellers Association, which is more commonly known as the DSA, and the leaders in our industry over the last 30, 40, and 50 years have talked, and if you've been in this industry for some time, your leadership and your people have talked to you, your mentors and your coaches, about why people succeed in this business. Different reasons like desire, having a lot of desire, being coachable, a hard work, patience, consistency, perseverance. Having vision is very, very important in terms of leadership. But the DSA and the leadership that we have in our industry over the last several decades has come down to about one single thing that is so important for you to have long-term success in this business. If you don't have it, you won't succeed. Lack of it, you won't succeed long-term. Short-term, maybe. And it's this. You need to write it down. It's belief. Belief. And I'm going to talk to you about 6 areas. We're going to rapid fire here. Belief. Well, that's a beautiful belief, isn't it? And in terms of belief, there's 6 things I want to share with you that if you don't have a core conviction in these 6 areas, you're not going to have long-term, deep-rooted success. So you're going to write these down. The first thing that we're going to talk to you about, some of you, I'm sure, are aware of this, but for a lot of people, has anybody worked one of these things before? This is not Canadian. By the way, how many Canadians we got here today? Wow. Eastern Canada, Ottawa, Toronto, Eastern Canada. The West, Western Canada. Yeah. Is there anybody else here from any other part of the world? Or is it just... Yeah. Okay, we'll talk to you guys here shortly. There it is, the industry. Now, when I first got involved in the industry about 19 years ago, I did not understand the industry. I had all the preconceived misconceptions on the industry. I thought it was one of these. It was a pyramid. I thought it was illegal. I didn't understand it. But I want to share some facts with you. If you don't have a deep-rooted conviction on the industry, it is not going to help you in this business. If you don't have the information on the industry and you're new to the industry, or if you've been in the industry for some time and you're bringing people on board and they need some information, remember, knowledge motivates. You have the knowledge, you have the power. It's so important to get as much information as you can on the industry. But some simple facts. Did you know that close to 50% today of the Fortune 500 companies have some form of direct sales, direct marketing, or a network marketing division? That is a fact. Very interesting. Back in the late 80s, Paul Zane Pilsner, he's one of the leading economists in the world, the former chief economist with the Bush administration, wrote a book called Unlimited Wealth in the late 80s. And he talked about where wealth was going to be created in the 90s. He talked about distribution, communication, and technology. Was he right? He was dead on. In his latest book, The Next Trillion, he talks about our industry combined with health and wellness as the next trillion-dollar industry. We are in the right industry. Bill Gates, back in the 90s, wrote a book called The Road Ahead, and he talked about the global village. He talked about the world's business coming together, being able to work from your own back office, working from your home. Just around the world, he saw this back in the mid-90s. You take a look, and let's fast forward here to a book called The World is Flat by Thomas Friedman. How many people have heard of that book? If you haven't, get it and read it. It's a quick look at the 21st century and globalization. It's an incredible book that talks about the emerging markets, being able to do the business around the world, your business around the world, being able to search into all of these emerging. You know, the Wall Street Journal said not too long ago, if you're not doing business in China today or planning on doing business in China tomorrow, you'll never play in the majors. You'll never play in the big leagues. Take a look at our business. Take a look at our industry today. It was an incredible romance, technology, network marketing for some time, and today that marriage has come together. So if you look at our industry, it is the greatest industry today to move goods and services around the world. Dr. Charles King, if you haven't got this book, get it. It's all about our industry in the 21st century, the new professionals. The new professionals. He talks about the emerging markets. He talks about our domestic markets and being able to take our business around the world overnight. Yourself. This one is huge. And that is a lack of belief in yourself. Now, I have found when I got involved in the industry 18 years ago, my sponsor, my coach said, Dan, one of the that you need to work on in terms of the business is yourself. And I didn't quite understand what he meant by that. I didn't really understand that, you know, working on yourself, what do you mean? And he said, well, it's the books you read, the tapes you listen to, or the CDs you listen to, and the people you surround yourself with will determine who you are and who you become. And I didn't quite understand that, but after a little bit of time and spending some time with him, Jeff said, Dan, I want you to listen to this. And he asked me first, you know, what tapes do you listen to? And at the time, I was listening to Madonna and Michael Jackson, which I don't listen to. One of them I really don't listen to anymore. I won't share with you who. So he says, Dan, and he grabbed the tape and he tossed it across the room. He says, listen to this. And it was a tape by Jim Rohn. It was the first time I ever listened to something that talked about personal growth and working on yourself. And I started to listen to that. And it was interesting what I was able to do. I'd listened to it in my car all the time when I was driving. I was able to turn my car into a classroom, turning that car into a college. And I was able to do that little bit every day, taking about 30 minutes to 45 minutes a day, listening to something that was going to enrich in my life and my networking soul. He asked me about the books that I was reading. At the time I was reading Stephen King, Death in a Cemetery or something, and he grabbed that and tossed it. And he gave me the book for the first time. I'd heard about it and read it, and it's Think and Grow Rich. That helped change my life. Think and Grow Rich. I've started to read other books since then, and I've read, I don't know, probably 1,000 books since then. But gang, it's not reading that stuff or listening to that stuff all day. It's that little bit that you do every single day. Write this down, success. Success is simple disciplines repeated over time. Success is simple disciplines repeated over time. Failure is a simple error in judgment repeated over time. Failure is a simple error in judgment repeated over time.